What up, fam? So check this out. I seen this movie, right? It's called Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now I know like nobody has been following this movie. Like you haven't probably heard anything about it. It's pretty like under the radar. It's like super indie. I think Judd Apatow directed it. It was you know pretty low budget. They didn't have any big actors or nothing. It was pretty, like I said, I mean, most people, yeah, anyways. Yeah, the big fucking movie that everyone's bitching about. Oh, this movie's fucking terrible. Oh my god, dude. I've been reading enough. I can't even watch, like, the video reviews. Like, one of the only people I can even agree with on this, critic-wise, was Greg Miller from Kind of Funny Games. Shout out. I don't know, man. I watched Angry Joe and fucking Kevin Smith and the nerd culture, and everybody's so pissed off, and the critics hate it, and it's like, man, it's almost like something weird's going on, like something fishy's going on, because I went in and saw this movie with my buddy Mark Galvan, who is also, I mean, me and him we're hardcore skeptics. I mean, me and him had like the longest pissed off debates about Star Wars The Force Awakens and how we both he hated it. I loved it. It was like, it's too similar, and I'm like, that's what everybody wanted. So so we went into this movie, 3 o'clock on an afternoon. Fucking we had no idea. Like, I went into it just knowing everybody hated it. Like, pretty much, like, all I'd heard about. I mean, it was almost like the reviews this movie was getting were on par with that fucking shitty Fantastic Four movie and Green Lantern and Catwoman and stuff. And I was thinking, okay, there's no way, man. I mean, Zack Snyder is an interesting director. And yeah, he likes his slow-mo fucking, he did 300 and Watchmen and fucking Sucker Punch and Man of Steel. But, like, he's not that bad. Like, I feel like every one of his movies have been kind of torn apart by critics. So I already went into this going, this movie's going to come out and everyone's going to blast it in the ass. And then I'm going to, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm going to, I let me just say this. I didn't really care for Man of Steel that much. I thought it was a fine film. I thought it was okay. It was an okay movie. I don't think it was a great superhero movie. I don't think it was a great origin story. There was a lot of weird shit they did that kind of annoyed me. This is, again, a spoiler-free review real quick, and I'm not trying to... I know you all gotta get to your jobs, and you gotta go fucking make your money, and walking down the street, and then you gotta go to the... you gotta buy your groceries and all. I mean, your life is short. So I'll try to make this short. But, anyways, man, I went into this expecting just complete fucking trash. And I remember, we sat sitting there, watching it with my buddy. Like I said, he's a hardcore critic too. I mean, we argue about movies all the time, and just like, I remember watching that movie for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and then the credits roll, and we just kind of look at each other like, did we just watch the same fucking movie that everyone's like so pissed off about? Oh, again, I'm a big DC fanboy. I've read tons of Batman comics, tons of Superman comics. Yeah, I know everything about the source material that this is all based on. And if you know it, it's even more enjoyable. But my buddy wasn't quite as well versed on that stuff, and he was just like, had the same view. He was like, this is that movie that's at like a 29 on Rotten Tomatoes and shit, you know what I mean? And we were like, yeah, this is crazy. That movie was like, I kept waiting for something to come out that really ruin it, you know what I mean? Like, I kept waiting for like something to happen. And now there's like probably 3 to 4 things that are really badass that happen here, and I was not expecting. I was like, whoa, they went there. They fucking went there. Number 1, Ben Affleck as Batman. Fucking badass. Honestly, the weakest link here is Henry Cavill out of everybody. Henry Cavill's Superman. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. He was fine. If you saw Man of Steel, you know what he was. He's a fine Superman. I mean, Superman's stoic, and you know the way they're doing it with the darker atmosphere. He's quiet and everything, and but you had this really brutal fucking Batman, man. Ben Affleck's Batman was awesome, and he's brutal, and he kills it, man. I mean, and then Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman was also the other thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, they're just gonna shoehorn Wonder Woman." Is not shoehorned in here. She has her. They bring her in real gracefully. She doesn't feel forced. She doesn't feel rushed, and she's awesome, man. Wonder Woman is one of the probably like I don't know. I don't know if Wonder Woman or Batman is cooler in this movie. But and then not only that, but the other thing everyone is bitching about is Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg. Oh, he's too like twitchy and weird. Lex Luthor. It's like, dude, fucking, you know what? The original Joker is like everyone thought of was like Mark Hamill's Joker, right? Which was like the, you know, I'm gonna get you, Batman. Like, you know, that very like comic book like Joker. And then Heath Ledger came out and did a different Joker, and everyone loved it. And you know, at first everyone was like, "Who's this guy? He's doing." And then he did. So to me, that's kind of like what Jesse Eisenberg here does with Lex Luthor. He kind of makes him a little more interesting. He's not just like this, you know, real stoic billionaire that's just like, "I hate Superman, and then I'm gonna make him pay." He's got real an interesting like vibe to him. He's real creepy, but he's not quite. I mean, you could kind of tell that maybe he's harnessing a little of that Heath Ledger kind of vibe towards his portrayal of Lex Luthor. But it's real original. I really liked it. I thought a lot of people just this movie is just filled with people who bitch way too much. I mean, not the movie itself is filled, but I mean people who've seen this, reviews I've seen. Listen, if you like Batman and Superman, if you like both or one of the other, or Wonder Woman, fucking go see this movie. It's fucking good as shit. I enjoyed it. Number one, it's not the best superhero movie ever made. No, it's not the next Dark Knight. No, it's not, you know, near as good as Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that. It's not gonna fucking change your mind on superhero films if you don't like superhero movies, but check it out. If you're a DC fan and you like Batman and Superman, it blows my mind why people didn't like this. I mean, maybe it's because I went into it thinking that it was going to be bad, or expecting, just like waiting. I kept waiting for some like really shitty, cheesy scene to happen, and there's like, man, what's crazy is I kept getting surprised, and there was two scenes in that movie that actually gave me like hardcore goosebumps, man. I was like chills. I was like, whoa, fuck, they went there. That's fucking awesome. Wow. I was like, this just got crazy. And yeah, so Zack Snyder, man, I know you're not watching this because, you know, I'm like not like a cool famous dude or nothing, but you really didn't fuck this up like everyone's making it out to be. Like, everyone's making it like out to like this is the next big failure and everybody hates it and all this stuff. And I don't know, man. I don't want to play like the conspiracy card or anything, but part of me feels like there's something up with that. Like this movie is as good, if maybe not quite as good as like maybe Watchmen. But I mean, 300. This movie's better than 300. You know what I mean? like this is Snyder at the top of his game. I don't understand what anyone was expecting here, other than what I watched was how it's like. That's like if no one had told me anything about the movie, that's what I would have expected. It wasn't fantastic, but it also wasn't it wasn't even average in my opinion. I thought there were some. You know, since Snyder knows his way around an action scene, there's so many really, really cool, visceral action scenes that are just, bam, they're just in your face. You know, like I said, I can't get into too much spoiler territory here, but, I mean, as we all know, if you've seen the trailers, this isn't a spoiler, but Doomsday is in the movie. And I heard a lot of people say, oh, they squandered Doomsday. And I was going into it thinking, oh, they're going to fuck him up. Just like in Spider-Man 3, how they fucked up Venom. They didn't. They didn't squander Doomsday. He's awesome. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just so biased, you know. I am a big DC fanboy. I generally, most people know that I like DC a little more than Marvel. I like the dark, atmospheric shit. You know, I really don't care a lot of for some of the more colorful Marvel movies. You know, like I really liked Ant-Man. I liked Winter Soldier. I liked Guardians of the Galaxy. But some of the, Iron Man 2 and a lot of the Spider-Man movies. And I mean, I know that's not the Marvel Cinematic Universe because it's owned by Sony, but whatever. Just Marvel movies in general are more colorful and more jokey and more lighthearted, but I kind of like my superheroes darker. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Dude, if you're even remotely like questioning, like, well, I wanted to go see it, but the reviews are so shitty, you're like, don't. It's so I don't even know. I feel like I feel like I'm living in a bizarro world. No, I mean, pun intended. I feel like I saw a different movie than other people did, and I'm not the only one because, like I said, my buddy who is just as critical of movies as I am, if not more, and we're always just butting heads on these things. And after we saw that movie, we both had that same look, going, "What the hell was really wrong with that?" I mean, again, the beginning of the movie has pacing issues. The whole movie has pacing issues. But so does every superhero movie, you know? And it's some, like people are like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Age of Ultron, for one, is a way poorer movie than Batman vs. Superman. That's my opinion. Of course, you can disagree with me. You can dislike my video, whatever. This movie was better than Age of Ultron. I don't give a fuck what you say. Age of Ultron was a goddamn mess. And everyone's like, Batman vs. Superman, it's all over the place. It's a mess. It's so convoluted and this and that. I'm like, dude, Age of Ultron's so convoluted, but at least Batman vs. Superman sticks like... There's a lot more shout outs to people who like are into the comics in this, you know. Age of Ultron butchered the comics just left and right and left and right. I mean, it was to the point of where if you read the source material, you weren't having fun. And if I know a lot of people like that movie. I'm not trying to say it was horrible or whatever. This, in my opinion, was a much better film than Age of Ultron. Also, you get to see, I don't know if you know this, it's so crazy, but at one point in this movie, Batman fights Superman. Yeah, that happens. And you're like, what? So, anyways, that's my spoiler-free thoughts. I just thought I had to throw that out there because I've seen so much hate on this movie, and everyone's just so tense. And God, man, the message boards on this movie. People are on the DC side going, Marvel paid people to put bad reviews in here, and then on the other side, there's people saying, oh, this is the worst film ever made. Batman and Robin was a better movie than this. No, it's not. This movie is for one, it's more of a Batman movie than a Superman movie. It's 60-40, I would say. 60% Batman, 40% Superman. But I mean, yeah, this movie is definitely better than Batman Forever. It's definitely better than Batman and Robin. Please don't worry about that. Yes, it's better than 1966 Batman with, Adam West, which, not better than Adam West, because nothing is better than Adam West, but the movie itself is better. But it's just whatever. I mean, there's a lot of people who hate these dark, brooding, they're all serious, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a serious deal. They deal with politics. They deal with religion. They deal with heavy themes. This isn't a Marvel film, and they shouldn't be in the same group. DC should have their own fucking branch from Marvel. They should have their own different vibe. Marvel's got this more colorful, more fun vibe, more jokey vibe. DC should have their own. And what's awesome is they did. And they had this cool political, almost like a political action movie, and it was really cool, in my opinion. Again, IMO. This isn't me saying that this movie is amazing. If you go and see it and you hate it, you can come back and comment all over this video and say, fuck you, Robin, you ruined my life. I'm coming at you with a lasso of truth. But anyways, hey, if you liked it, like. If you didn't like it, dislike. If you thought it was really awesome, subscribe to my channel. But those are my thoughts. Take it easy, brother.